What? I'm here. Hi. How are you? Yeah. Yeah, Brimo and I went for a walk yesterday, Vasya, and now, yeah, turns out that sitting in chairs all day is bad for your back. You found my next car. It's a Niva, and it's a Niva pickup. I'm sorry, what? Dude. Yeah, I want it. Yep. Yep. Nope. I want that. That's really cool. You've seen Toyota Hilux, comrade. But have you seen the Niva pickup? I want it. Look at it. Yo, dude, how did they do that? Is this a... Did this come from the factory like this? Because that looks really good. That's some really sharp work. If that's custom work, dude, that's freaking great, dude. Looks like it's from the factory. Yeah, I was gonna... Dude, I didn't even know they made Niva pickup trucks. Alright. So, Niva is like one of the first cars that, like, who is it? Vaz designed, like, from the factory. It wasn't like the Lada, which is a rebadged Fiat, right? They designed the Niva in-house. That thing is a, it's all-wheel drive. Yeah. Like, it's a 4x4. It's a pickup truck. But it's about as big as a Volkswagen Beetle, which is cool. Lada 2329. Yeah. Yeah, okay, alright, hold on. Now I gotta see. Yeah, dude. Yo. This thing is hot. Look at this. I like it. That's cool, man. Yo.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Dude, hey, it's like a Subaru Brat almost. Look at this. What? It's so small. Oh, dude, look at that. That's cool, man. I dig it. Pale Rider, what's up, man? Time for Addiction Simulator, right? Yeah, I dig this. That's cool. Yeah. And before I get one, dude, Thomas, we figured out, like, I mean, I don't know why you would, but Vasya was telling me in PY, you guys were telling me the prices of a Lada. Like, if you want one in decent condition, it's nothing. It's like $1,000. Like, the import costs would be more than what the car is worth. You can get one for $2,500? Damn, dude. Jeez. I see you have the video open in a tab. Oh, what? This video? Do we have to watch this now? Alright. It's 6 minutes and then we play Satisfactory. Yeah, Bram, they go for nothing over there.
I'm a model designer at LEGO, and today we'll be showing you the Space Shuttle Discovery Orbiter.
Discovery.
So this is the orbiter that flew the furthest, it carried the most astronauts, it had the longest time in space, and most importantly, it's had the most LEGO sets made of it. So because we've made this model at 1:70 scale, we've been able to include lots of details that we wouldn't normally include.
Yeah,
First, we
PY.
have the elevons, which we can control
Oh.
the roll of the craft by moving the center engine.
Oh, that's cool. I would not be keeping the Lada engine in there. Yeah, if we got one, it'd be impossible to get parts. Screw that. I'd put something else in there. Like, we'd make the one that I made in Beam. I'd make
We
that.
have a body flap, the rudder, and the rudder can actually split into two to act as an air brake on one. By going
That's
up to such a
cool.
big scale, we've been able to include both the flight deck and the mid-deck, as well as the payload bay of the shuttle. On the flight deck, we've included lots of small controls for the astronauts, as well as 4 seats for the commander, the pilot, and some of the flight specialists. And in the mid-deck, we've included beds, storage, and a 5th seat for the flight specialist. The airlock from the mid-deck goes into the payload bay, and in the payload bay we've included lots of nice little details. We've got the cameras to help the astronauts manipulate the cargo, we've got space for the cargo, and we have the robotic manipulator system, the arm that's able to lift up satellites and parts of the International Space Station and deploy them. One of the things we really want to do was include a payload in the cargo area. So we worked with Manny, our element designer, to make a new door element.
In the space shuttle model, we introduced 3 brand new elements. The first one here is our payload bay wall element. We are very excited about this element because it's very thin. It gives us the possibility to build more inside. Other elements is this curved 3x3 bow element that goes on our brand new, very sleek windscreen, and it creates this very smooth transition that it represents the windscreen area of the space shuttle.
In
People are
2021,
gonna be playing
with the launch of
Kerbal
this model, the space shuttle
with
is
Legos.
celebrating its 40th anniversary. So what we wanted to do was not only capture the anniversary of the space shuttle,
Ooh.
but also of the mission STS-31, which launched the Hubble telescope. And so we've included the Hubble Space Telescope in this model.
Working with Milan was amazing because he knows so much about space travel and everything space related. I just like Lego a lot.
Why are they blanking out NASA's logo? They blanked out NASA's logo. What do you mean didn't get permission?
So I was constantly calling this model a rocket or an airplane, but I learned from Milan that this is actually a space shuttle.
So I was trying to describe how important the Hubble Space Telescope was to Nico. I was telling him that it could see 72 million light years away in our universe. It's really good at looking.
Milan told me that the Hubble Space Telescope was really good looking. So we made the model entirely drum lacquered silver. So drum lacquering is a special process where we add a thin layer of silver ink to the Lego bricks to give them a very special shiny effect.
Dude.
At the front of the model, we have the aperture door, which opens to reveal the lens.
Dude.
There's the supports that allow it to fit snugly inside the payload bay of the shuttle. The communication antennas that has the original solar panels and the star tracking system. And we've also included this little removable chunk, which is a section that they fixed on one of the servicing missions when Hubble's primary mirror was shown to be defective. One of the challenges with filling the payload bay
The arm,
is
though!
coupling the front and rear landing gear. Now obviously on the space shuttle that goes up into space, it's got to come back down to Earth. In the Lego model we've used springs to make sure that all the landing gear pop out at exactly the same time, and it was a real challenge to get them coupled along the length of the space shuttle whilst maintaining all that room in the cargo bay. One detail that we've never been able to achieve in a Lego model until now is the reinforced carbon on the leading edges of the wings, and we've represented that by using grey bows to show the leading edge.
We've included 108 drum lacquered silver elements, which is the most that we've included in any Lego set to date.
Now we know one of the really important things is the display value of the models, and so we've actually included 3 stands in this set, so you can display the shuttle orbiter on its own, you can display the Hubble telescope on its own, but we've also included a 3rd stand, so you can mount the telescope inside the payload bay as if it was being deployed on STS-31.
There's an Easter egg in this set.
Yo.
So as we were building the wings of the model,
I don't think so.
we found that we needed a 3x3 corner plate. And the only shape that we have that does that is a heart. So to me, it really feels like we put our hearts into this model.
I see what
I've
you
always
did
been
there.
really interested in flight. I think that comes from building model kits with my dad when I was younger. I remember looking at the Lego catalogue when I was a kid and seeing the Space Shuttle Discovery that was out at the time. And I wanted it so bad. I tried to build it out of my own Lego bricks. I think, you know, if 8-year-old Milan knew that I was working with NASA or Lego Space Shuttle today, he'd be very excited. It's easy to be blown away by the complex engineering and sheer power of these vehicles, but for me, the most fascinating thing about spaceflight is the human element. Everything that the space programs have achieved is done for the progression of life here on Earth and eventually life in space itself.
My man!
So my favourite part of the model is the tiny blue seats that carried 5 human beings away from their home planet on a mission that for most of human history was totally unfathomable. Those tiny blue seats represent our story and make me wonder where next. Just like I was looking at the Discovery Orbiter in the catalogue when I was a kid, it makes me wonder, will a kid looking at this model in a catalogue be an astronaut that might grow up to spearhead our journey toward the stars?
Absolutely. Well then. No, that's happening, Biz. That's a thing. Yeah. Also, that Neva pickup is dope. I want one. But, Vasia, just on a side note, nice focus. Very nice. Very nice. Shut up and take my money! Yeah, right. Dude, that thing is cool, man. Yep. $200 from your tax return. I'm getting that stimmy. Get the stimmy and buy like 3. I'm gonna buy a bunch. Lots of focuses here. Good. It's a good car. I like those. I don't know if you knew that. Dude, some things I was thinking about. That thing looks almost... It looks like it might be a little bit larger scale than the Saturn V. However, if it is the same scale as the Saturn V, you could order... Well, if it is the same scale as the Saturn V, then there's some things to consider. The Saturn V's first stages, if it is the same scale, are almost the same width as the external tank. The external tank's actually a little bit smaller. So you could, theoretically make an external tank for it using the Saturn V parts if you buy them in orange, right? Or you could make Saturn Shuttle. I mean, that would be cool too. Or, well, and also, the SRBs, if I'm remembering correctly, are the same diameter as the CSM model. So you could make SRBs with the CSM model if you bought it in white. Also, you could buy one and you could make Buran pretty easily. If you'd have to take the engines off the back, but... The Saturn V is 1/110th, Shuttle is 1/70th. Shame. So, yeah, it's not scaled correctly. Well, actually... Because Saturn V stages, the first and second stage on the Saturn V were 10 meter wide. They were 10 meters. So that actually might work. Imagine Baran's Erector from Lego Technic. Yes, I want that. Hi, Pick. Actually, that's pretty close to lining up. Also, the landing gear are in the wrong place, by the way. They're too far back, but I'm not going to nitpick. Anyway. Yeah, that's, Speaking of Saturn V's, have you seen the movie Marooned? Negative. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? We gotta play Satisfactory, but also, what the hell? What has science done? Sasha, look at this. What? Would that work? There's no way that would work. I don't hate it, but also I don't think that would work. I don't want it. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't want to. Aries 0.5. All right, let's do this. Oh. Huh. Can I? Wait, did somebody? I have Satisfactory on Steam. Can you migrate your saves over from the Epic Games Launcher with Satisfactory? I might install it over here because LOL Epic Games Launcher. Yes, nerd. All right. I'll probably do that another day. I don't know, Sean. Frickin' someone probably frickin' gifted that as a joke, so it showed up on Steam gifts. All right. Could have done without that. Hang on a minute, Chief. Banana. All right, let's do this. Okay, Juice. All right, so we were working on this. We're working on these guys right here, making a yes, yes, yes. Huh. What's this game? Satisfactory. Are you going to order some Legos soon? That's... yeah. Yes. Night mode? Oh. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright. So, I was working with the switches. And then I have a bunch of switches over here that I've kind of staged. Because I wanna take my factory from the old save that we know we fixed it. It works. Right? And I'm gonna retool my old Powerhouse, which I tried to make switches in here. It kind of worked. And I want to retool it so we have a new Powerhouse. Yeah, they did a good job, man. They did good work. Coffee Stain they done good here. All right. We also got to see what we need to make here. What are we pining for right now? Trains. The heavy mod frames, they take forever to freaking make. Yeah, we're gonna have to set up the factory. Yeah, that's right. They got big because of Goat Simulator. I made one. Alright. Let's check our tick count while we're here. Oh, print me that coupon. We have 2. Let's go into the storefront here. Let's see. Can we get anything? Anything that we want. Light control panel. Useful for sectioning and modifying many lights at once. Controls all lights connected to the power grid attached to the light power control. Okay, Chaos. I played Dyson Sphere Pale once. For 10 hours straight. And then promptly shut it off. And I was like, nope, that's not a good idea. 10 hours straight. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea anymore, man. I have enough games to play. It's so bad. I mean, it's really not a bad problem to have, though, is it? Dude, I played it on stream, right? I played it on stream, and for the first, like, 2 or 3 hours, I didn't get it. It didn't click in my head at all. I was just like, I don't know. This is just Factorio. And then, I don't know what I did, but everything clicked, and everything connected up here, and then I was just belting out factories. Like, in one stream sitting, I busted out something like this, like, with, like, smelter arrays and stuff and everything, and, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I should play this again. Hey, Chief, what's up? Yeah, Flash Wolf, right? Yeah. There's just some games I don't think we should play. You know, it's just, ugh. Oh, no, that's not what I want. All right, so we have 2 tickets, but I don't think we need much right now. afford anything in here? Nope. Attachments. Get some ammo. Whoa, it'll give me 50 of those for 6 tickets. It's almost worth it. Jeez. Kobe, here's your old shuttle model, roughly the same size, held up to scale next to the Saturn V. Oh. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, it's not exactly to scale, is it? Was that a Cybertruck? It's a Cyber Wagon. Hey Dawson, how am I doing? I'm doing just fine. How are you? Just fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine like wine. Your mother got you a charger. Yeah, and the Cybertruck is useless. Yeah, right? Your mother got you a Charger Hemi. Really? Alright, that's cool. $5.2. Well, that's cool, man. Yesterday's launch was boring. No live footage. It was all animation. Oh, that sucks. I tried to get up for the Soyuz launch. Tried. Yeah, that was the end of that. That was the end of that story. It didn't work. Some cool pictures, though. Right on. Alright, so... we need to start thinking about how we're going to split up the power so we can... close that down. So, over there is the steel mill, right? Here's the main factory. Smelter array. Kind of auxiliary area. Should we put the miners on? I don't know. Should we put the miners on something different? EJ, quick question. Okay, what's up?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Doto, excuse me, when hop? Well, I think Starship static fired this morning. They did an early morning static fire. I'm pretty dang sure. You know when you could really hear that someone isn't a native English speaker? Yeah. So it was that, but twice as worse for Gleb Cosmos. Well, if they static fired today and everything went right, the hop's probably going to be... it's either tomorrow or Wednesday. I mean, if everything goes right. If you see guys out there starting to mess with the rockets and stuff. How much did the Mars mission cost? I don't know. I don't have the figures off the top of my head. It was expensive, though. But worth it. Really, Vasya, huh? Also, Dodo, 64-month resub. Thanks, man. Danke. Net Wednesday is road closures for tomorrow have been canceled. Oh, well, that's good. It's not happening on my day off. Fellas, I'll be real with you. What I'm probably going to do tomorrow is go over to my folks' house and clean up the garage. Because it's been... I haven't been... I mean... when was the last truck stream? January. Yeah. I don't have the zip lines unlocked, Zonic. It's been rescheduled for Sunday. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Alright. So, we need main power input here. Yeah, Zonic, I don't have that unlocked just yet. All right, so this is the main power line, kind of right here. I wonder if I should. What power poles do I have unlocked? I have Mark 1s and Mark 2s. So what I'm thinking, guys, is distinguish power. What does that mean? So take like lights and put lights on Mark 1 power poles, and then take stuff that's heavy industrial and put it on Mark 2 power poles so we can see the difference. Like I'm not sure how it is in like Europe, but in the States we have like light duty power and heavy duty power. Light power is 110 volts, heavy duty is 220. Hey boo, what's going on? Or paint them. Oh, it's not a bad idea. I forgot you can paint stuff. Here, Dodo, Duncan, I thought you could. I forgot that you could do that. Hold on. It's 120 and it's 240? I thought it was 2. All right. Are you sure it's not 110? I don't know. I thought it was 220. You just have 230 everywhere. So it's 120 and 2. Are you sure it's not? All right. And you know what? I'm not gonna. I don't know why. Whatever. I always forget. So it's 120 and 240. I thought it was 110 and 220. A normal socket in Europe is 230 volts, which is 230, and then you got 400, which is 3-phase. Yeah, see, if you want 3-phase, it's 240 over here. Interesting. Light is 230 volts. It depends on the country. Interesting. So, yeah, I wanted to mark, like, heavy-duty and light-duty stuff. Now, we do have the paint gun. I thought I had it in here. Color gun. There it is. We need some plates. People say 110 or 220, but that is just old common knowledge. Take a meter to it nowadays in the U.S. and you'll get 110 to 120 or 230 to 240. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, let's go find a. Let's go make the paint gun and see if we have a different color here. Thanks to your question, everybody is confused. You have 230 in the UK, 400 for 3-phase, and 110 for low voltage stuff. Interesting. So either way, we're gonna have to untangle this mess. We're gonna have to untangle this mess of like industrial power and light power, because since they added lights, I want to put a different circuit in for lights. I don't want the lights operating on the same circuit as the factory. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we have a little bit of a challenge ahead of us, and I have to do that all while making sure the factory stays running. Warm. I just use Mark II because you can have more connection points. I'd rather... EJ, when's your birthday? Not trying to be weird. Mine's in October. Mine's in July. You're being a little weird right now. You're being... I'm just messing with you. You're being a little weird. What, like this, boo? Well, happy birthday, Flash Wolf. Yeah, no, not trying to. No, I'm just messing with you. All right. Alright, guys, I have my back brace on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Ow. Back brace. Oh, that feels weird. Yeah, it's my WWE belt from wrestling. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday, damn it. Stop it. Alright. Let's see if we can... So, like... You know, everybody's saying use all Mark II power poles, right? And I'm cool with that. I just want to see, like, if we paint them different colors, what, like, how distinguishable is it? Chat, why back pain? Where's your sheep whoop? Oh, man. For the folks that don't know, I have a herniated disc in my back, and it hurts. It hurts, donut. I'm hungry. Alright, we need flowers to get some colored dye in here. Buzz. Is it the curse of being tall? Pretty much, Thron, yeah. Joe Rogan says hang upside down or something. Blue, I have an inversion table, homie. I have an inversion table. I hang upside down. Yeah. It makes me sick. Like, seriously, I feel like I'm gonna freaking puke. Hanging upside down. I don't know what it is, but sometime between now and when I was a lot younger, dude, I used to never get sick from going upside down. More like streamer's disease. Yeah, that's... Yeah. You got knee problems? Yeah. One Batstrim. Alright. Well, sooner rather than later, guys, you're not going to be able to tell if I'm doing an upside down stream or not, because when SN11 lands on Wednesday, this is going. All of it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna go with the Scott Manley. We're going back. We'll go back, or we could just do straight mullet. But yeah, this is the longest my hair has been in 15 years. It's really freaking long, and it's annoying. Is that a bet? Well, Blue and I already had a bet. Yeah. What's your favorite football team? Mine's the Eagles all the way. Oh, Dawson, you're gonna hate me, man. I'm a Patriots fan. But you did get us in 2017. That was a good game. You gonna follow through? Sure, man. Dude, it's annoying. Alright. Brimo and I went out to dinner yesterday, and I straight up had a mullet. Like, I had it like slick back like this, and we took pictures, and I'm like, yo, that's a mullet. I gotta get rid of this. Yeah, Dawson, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna freaking hate me, dude. Alright, so... How do you do this again? When you have a chance to take a break, can I try the table? Sure. Right click? Okay. Oh. You son of a gun. I'm in. Dude, it's hard to see the colors. It might be just because, you know, it's dark right here because I'm in the shadow of a gigantic freaking building. Here, let's go to where it's more light out. Dawson, I got enough games to play, my brother. See, I'd rather have, like, a visual difference between, like, heavy-duty stuff and light-duty stuff. I think that would be better. What say you, Chet? Agreed, butt. Who's a butt? Can you edit the main and second color? I don't know. Oh yeah, you can. Alright, here, let's just use color nobody cares about. Let's use this one. Let's edit it. Stormtrooper. Captain Karate! Thank you for the raid, man. I wish I had money. Sell your charger. Yeah, I agree. There's not enough of a visual difference there, guys. I don't want. Okay, so fellas, whenever I make a factory, okay? Whenever I make a factory, I make it idiot proof. Not because, like, I have some obsessive compulsion with making it idiot-proof, right? It's just if I stop playing the game for a year and come back to it, I need to make it idiot-proof so I understand it. So I can go back and be like, what was I doing here? I make it idiot-proof, not for you, but for me. I gotta make sure, because I'm a freaking moron, dude. I don't know what I was making. I have no idea. You know, like, I understand that this is a smelter array, but I don't know what I was doing with the power. It took me a second to go back and figure it out, but I did figure it out pretty quick. You know? PY's like, yeah, we know. Thanks, man. Dick. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Make signs. Make a journal. Well, I just have intuitive design. That's why it takes me a little while to build something in Satisfactory. Because I always try to make it right. Is that pie? No, it's sulfur. Probably smells horrible. Oh, well, this wasn't here before. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. I'm going to do the right thing, vice grip style, and just pretend I wasn't up here. What does polygon smell like, Blue? Alright, let's get this done. I'm gonna use for the big stuff. For like my quote-unquote 3-phase, right? I'm going to use the Mark II power poles, and then for lights and stuff, we'll use Mark 1s. Probably like voxels. What the hell do voxels smell like, man? I saw nothing. I know nothing. Alright, so the first thing we need is a powerhouse, and that powerhouse is going to have certain outlets. I know nothing. Can you smart replace in this game? Well, no, I don't think so. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, this is Satisfactory. If you've never seen me play this before, I played it a lot when it came out in early access. The game still is in early access. This is a game done by a studio called Coffee Stain. Coffee Stain's cool. They made Goat Simulator. Yeah. That should tell you everything you need to know about what this game, how fun this game's gonna be. Oh, I know. Yeah, there's the mass delete button, Boo. I forgot about it. Coffee Stain is making Valheim? No way. They made Valheim too? Wow. Till. No, they only publish it. Oh, alright. Interesting. Alright, so This game is where you get put on this big freaking alien planet, right? And I forget how to load up the map. Boo, how do you load up the map? Okay, I get it. Yeah, Torby, welcome to my life. Z? Alright, thank you, Boo. So you have this gigantic freaking map, and you're down on this planet, right? And you have to... You don't know why, because they haven't finished the story yet, but you have to send materials up that space elevator. You build the space elevator, you got to send materials up it. And you have to build a factory to make the materials to send it up the space elevator. And you work for a corporation called Fixit. F-I-C-S-I-T. Like that. And they're a mysterious, ominous corporation. Alright. What if you die? You just straight up respawn.
Go and throttle up.
So, yeah, you gotta build up the factory. You can build down foundations and stuff. You build everything here that's mechanical, I built. Including the factory. The factory is my design. So, if I'll bring you guys up to speed, here, I'll go up in the factory and I'll show you. Could I join you sometime? No, I don't like you. I'm only doing single player right now, Boo. Hey, plus 47-month resub. Thanks, man. Yeah, Boo, I keep the single player with Satisfactory for now. It is multiplayer, though. You can play multiplayer. Name the factory Idiot Proof. That's my life, Dawson. That's just my life. Just idiot proof. Alright, here. Going all the way up to the top floor of the factory. Here we go. So, check this out. I got my power up here on this higher plateau up here. I got my power. That's my power way. I'm using coal power right now because where I chose to set up shop here, there's a bunch of coal veins. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. I also got iron over there, or no, copper over there, and then the iron. There's a nice iron vein over there. Also, we have limestone over here for concrete. It's right there where that shadow is. So, I'm standing on top of the factory here, and then I also have iron over there, and then a coal is going that way for steel. Yeah, I'm gonna upgrade all that eventually. Yeah, there's the spot where I wanted to place the steel. It's gonna be a little expansion to the factory here. But yeah, this is the factory. The factory is supposed to be an integrated vertical main bus factory. So in the center here, I have a huge open area where all the resources will come in and out. This is like the spine of the factory, but it's vertical. Most factories, nobody builds factories vertically like this. That doesn't make any sense. Most factories are built horizontally. I like the challenge of building vertically, so I'm going to. So, what we need to basically do is, what we're tasked with right now is basically redoing the power systems here. Have you tried hypertubes? Yeah, I have a hypertube out at my pumping station way out there. See the road that I made? Of course, it's me, so I make roads that go to different spots. That road over there that goes diagonal there and then goes that way leads to my water pumping station. That road leads to a quartz deposit way over there. You could just see it. And then the road tees off and goes that way. And it cuts through the canyons. And then on the other side of this hill is a huge oil deposit. So we're going to have to make a pipeline with oil out here eventually. Yep. This is my house right here. Right next to this back elevator. There's quartz to your southwest. No, there's quartz to my northwest. Don't lie to these people. Stop deceiving all these people. I think they said they're reworking the oil field in the next update and the map will change in that area. Great. That's lovely.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger that, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. There's a couple of guys turning blue down here. We're breathing again. Have you seen the new Space Shuttle Lego set? Oh yes, we have, Scav. I want 3. Yeah. Yeah, I want 3. Like now. And then I'll find a way to make new stickers, and one will be Discovery, and the other one will be Atlantis, and the other one will be Endeavor. And straight up, I'll take the Hubble satellites that come with them and convert them into Keyhole satellites. 2 of them will be Keyhole satellites, the other one will be a Hubble. It's a good idea. Yeah. Primo would kill me. Primo would freaking kill me. Mike, why do you guys gotta make such good toys, man? Why you guys freaking Lego? Why do you gotta make such good toys, dude? What the hell's up with that, man? You guys made a Lego space shuttle? I needed it. Right? You guys made the LEM? I needed that. The Saturn V? I needed that. You know how many Legos I have in my freaking house, at my parents' house? I have an entire chest full of them. Do you know what I used to do with Legos, guys? I know. This is going to come as a big surprise. You know what I used to do with Legos? Build spaceships. I need it! Thrawn. Okay, alright, Thrawn. Yeah, a chest, but here, alright. This should help. American-sized chest. So it's huge. You have the LEM Saturn V and ISS 2. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. And then just Lego's just normalizing. They're just normalizing Lego for adults now. Oh, great. It's socially acceptable for me to buy Legos. Lovely. The reason why I stopped buying Legos is because, like, oh, kids can't be played with Legos, and I was able to shake the addiction because of social pressure. Now I can't do it. Now I can't do it. Now I have no excuse. This is not okay. Stop normalizing Lego for adults. You're gonna drain my pocketbook. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. Jack, free shuttle fund? I don't need it. I don't need the shuttle. No. I need the shuttle, but I don't need a shuttle fund. No problem, Kiggy. I'm glad you like it. That's the goal. I think the Danish people secretly have a goal for world domination through Legos. I think that's what's going on. We're on to you sneaky Danish donuts. Read my last. Like, seriously, I can get vinyl stickers for you. Alright, Bram. I'll think about it. When will there be a Lego shuttle stream, then? When I get it, bro. I had a stream where I built the LEM and the Saturn V on here. I did that last summer. Oh, the AT-AT. Lemprod, I had, Shadow Fun! I had a, here, let's get to building. I need to... Alright, so with these power poles, we gotta temporarily redo this. Do you have the ISS? I do not have the ISS. I have the Saturn V and the LEM. I didn't like the ISS because just like 5-year-old EJ with Legos, I don't like Legos that aren't in scale. And the LEM isn't in scale with the Saturn V, and that's okay, but... Alright, Dawson, see you, buddy. But also... Not okay. Anyway. Alright, so I have an array of power generators that are off right now. What we'll do is I'll start running the big power pole line here. No. Alright, we'll run the connection off the back here. Yeah, Zonic, they better not be playing with me. I will be very, very upset. Those damn Danes and their damn awesome toys. How dare you? How dare you? Safety third. Greetings from the dialysis center. Enjoying the new updates. Are you okay? Yeah, the update's great. Audrey, it's fantastic. But are you all right? Okay, Mark II power pole. There we go. Airstream fun. Geeson, why are you... Why? Oh, yeah, you're thinking... All right. Geeson level puns. All right, hold on. Bill Gates meets Arnold Schwarzenegger at a party and asked him if he's upgraded to Windows 10 yet. Big Arnie replies, "Hasta la vista, baby." Oh, that's a little bit of a stretch. A little bit of a stretch, but I'll give it to you. Yeah, this is my life now. My kidneys are shot. Something that's been coming for a while now. I feel a lot better than I did weeks ago. Well, I'm glad you're all right, Audrey. Yeah. I mean, Audrey, my kidneys aren't toast yet, but also at the same time, I know what it's like to neglect your body. Yeah, not a good idea. Don't do that. Yeah. How about we don't do that? Yeah, how about we don't do that? It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? I need bars. Yeah. So I can't relate in regard to the kidneys, Audrey, but I can absolutely relate in regard to, being an idiot when it comes to taking care of yourself. Yes. Diabetes sucks, bro. My grandfather was diabetic. My uncle is diabetic. And yeah, he's also not... he also has those same problems. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Liam, this game is a factory building game where you have to build factories. You're on an alien planet and you have to build factories for a mysterious corporation. They sent you down here by yourself. And you have to build factories for them. To send resources up a space elevator. Alright, let's go. So I have reinforced plates on this floor. Where's the bars? Bars. Bars. Oh god. Ow. Here we go. Let me just grab a couple of stacks here. Alright, let's go. So right now what I'm doing is, because they changed, there's a new update for this game. And they changed the way that the power, they didn't so much change the way that the power systems work, but they changed how the power plants work. Parkour. And I need to retool some of my electrical systems. Alright, so let's go down in here. And we need Mark II power poles. So I'm gonna put one there. And then we'll put one right here. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like how I have to place it on the stupid rocks. Damn you, nature! Are the machines always running? Yeah. Alright, fine. Fine. I'm gonna set Mark II power pole to 0 for now. There we go. Alright, so I have Mark I and Mark II power poles. If you look at them, those are the differences. So what I'm gonna do is one of the huge updates to Update 4 was them adding lights. The Coffee Stain added a bunch of lights that you can put in. Now, it's me, so I'm going to use this as an opportunity to teach, because that's what I do. Now, in real life, how the electrical systems are set up is you have light duty and you have heavy duty. Most countries, we talked about this a second ago, most countries have a little bit of a difference, right? So, like, if you live in a house, right, and you're plugging in, right, you know, basic stuff like computers don't draw that much power unless it's like a server farm or something, right? But if you wanted to get some industrial equipment, right, like if say you wanted like a Bridgeport lathe or something, lathe is what it's called. Lathe is a planet in Kerbal. You'd need more power. You'd need what's called three-phase. You'd need three-phase and you need a higher voltage. Now, what does that mean? What is three-phase? All right. So electricity, right, kind of goes like this when it's transmitted, right? It's a sinusoidal wave, right? Now, this is what the electrical, right? That's what electrical looks like going through, like, this is like light duty stuff, right? Three-phase works like this. All right? So what it does is it overlaps these sine waves to basically have a more continuous flow of power. That's not the right way to say it. I'm not an electrical engineer, but three-phase is like what all industrial equipment runs off of. So what I'm doing is I want to put that in here. I want to put that into Satisfactory, and I want my Mark II power poles to be running, quote unquote. They're not going to be running three-phase, but I want it to look like it. So I want to take all my industrial equipment and run it with Mark II power poles, and then take all my light equipment, like lights and stuff, and run it off Mark I so I can tell the difference. That basically involves making a new wire harness for the entire factory, which, yeah, that's going to take some time. But it's going to be awesome when it's done, so. If anybody knows, okay, trivia time. Who invented three-phase alternating current? So we know that you have 10 hot bars. I know. I want to know. My mom? No, my mother did not invent three-phase. If my mother invented three-phase, I would be making a lot more money right now. Angus Young. I see what you did there, Chief. And A for effort. Yeah, Tesla. Nikola Tesla. He's the guy that invented three-phase alternating current. That was his idea. Yeah, we still use three-phase alternating current to this day for industrial equipment. Yeah. Tesla did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Edison didn't like him, which is hilarious to me. He didn't like him because he was smarter. Yeah, Joji, direct current is okay, but it's application based, right? So I mean, that was one of Tesla's genius ideas. The world runs off three-phase AC. Seriously. Power lines, anytime you see power lines, like the big power lines, this literally does not matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You could be in Russia, you could be in Europe, you could be in the US, you could be in Japan, you could be in China. The big power lines, the big ones, all three-phase AC all day. Yeah, and then they have step up and step down transformers to change that. Three-phase AC allows you to transmit electrical power over a lot longer of a distance. That's the huge advantage. Amongst a bunch of other ones. You know, you can transmit over a super long distance. Three-phase AC is like, yeah, civilization wouldn't exist like it does without three-phase AC. That and diesel engines. That's the other one. There are actually a lot of DC transmission lines. Did I say that there wasn't? Well, straighten the story out then. Let's go. Alright. So, here's what I'm going to do. I need to start unplugging some of these power terminals here. You guys straighten the story out with electrical, because I'll be honest, I don't know electrical too well.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, what's up, sweetie?
I was trying to be patient, but my back hurts too much. Could we try the inversion table?
Yeah, sure. I'll set it up for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, give me a moment.
Okay.
Brimo's back hurts. I have to help. As a back pain sufferer. Well, true that DC is harder to transform. You need massive rectifying stations to convert power voltages, but DC transmission is 15% more efficient. But, okay, so... But doesn't that... Okay, question. Alright. Electrical engineers. Dude, okay, so first of all, electrical engineering is black magic, alright, to me. Alright? I know it. I've wired my truck before. I built the... Well, I didn't build the wire harness. I wired it up. We use three-phase AC for all industrial power, don't we? But isn't it better to transmit AC over long distances and DC for short? Alright, let me straighten my story out, because the reason why is because I come up with little spiels for what I'm doing in explaining things, right? But I want to make sure that I get it correct. That was correct to my... That was the spiel that was correct up until now. The stations on either end converted from AC to DC and are insanely expensive. DC's craft to high voltage, low amps. Interesting. Alright. Cool. So if there's enough power consumption in the 50% efficiency justifies the cost of the rectifying stations, then it's justified. Got it. Okay, Zach, I should change what I'm saying then. Would it be better to say that all industrial power works off AC? Because you can't have that interruption in signal, right? It's not even called signal, is it? 99% of the power lines in the world is AC. Got it. Okay. Makes sense, man. Once again, I know the rocket science stuff side of things, dude, but electrical power, I'm still really, really trying to understand. Like, dude, AC is just... Alright. Like, yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, you thought of that. Alright. I'll have you know I brushed my teeth today, Mr. Tesla man. Alright, so I'm running a new power line here. And this will go to my powerhouse. And I kind of have to run it around my old power lines. The UK's grid connection to Europe's grid is DC. Interesting. Yeah, it really is, PY. Dude, even transistors. Transistors is like, you did what? You found it... What? Anyway, alright, so... What I started doing here is wiring up my power generators that are offline. With the new update, guys, they made it so power generators don't... The generators don't work off the draw. So, alright, once again, tell me if I'm getting this right. The generators don't work off the draw. They just... So before, like, if the factory was demanding 1,000 megawatts, right? If I had 5,000 megawatts of power here, each power generator would operate at, enough, like, cumulatively all of them would be up to 1,000 megawatts. They changed that now. How that works is each factory is operating at 100% power. So I changed, like, my demand for the water went through the roof. So I shut off a good deal of my power plants because now those 6 power plants down there are running at maximum power. So what I'm going to do is soft roll out and wire up the ones that are offline right now to the new powerhouse and keep the other ones working on the factory right now so I have power to keep the factory going while I'm redoing the power. But give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I got to help Brimo real quick. Burb, I'll be right back. 1 second. The operation was a success. All right. So, let's get back to working this up. We don't have a lot of time. AC motor traction is a major improvement over the DC systems. The primary advantages of AC traction are adhesion levels up 100% greater than DC. You talking about like in the application of like building cars? Goalie, I like what I see. Hurts seeing this car sit like this. I hate people that do this. Close as I can get to tell the year. Oh, no. Oh, I thought you were going to buy it or something, dude. It's a 67. That's a 67, dude. Here, I'll show you. Yeah. It's a 67, or it could be a 68. It's either one. I can't tell. I'd have to look at it from a different angle. That's a 67 or a 68. It's a notchback Mustang. No fastback, but that's still cool. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that sucks, man. I mean, I try not to do that with the Coronet, but the Coronet is like that right now. But I have it all covered up. Locomotives also. Got it? Goat 'em. Alright, so we have our main power inlet right here. We'll connect pole to pole like that. And now we need to build the powerhouse. So let's go in here and we'll figure out how we want to make this. So this isn't gonna just be a powerhouse. I want to use it to store the batteries as well.
Discovery, go at throttle.
Hey, Airborne. 31 months. Thanks, man. Thanks for being with me on this fantastic voyage through the internet. Alright, so here's a good layout for the powerhouse. I think this is big enough. Hey, Stream Chat, what's up, man? Next project for you? No. Goalie said he found it in, he said it's sitting like that, which sucks. Winterside, it goes good. How are you? Alright, so now we need a main inlet right here. Double wall. Mark 1, which is fine. Perfect. Alright, so I have a lot of switches here that I kept out here just so I wouldn't use the components for them. I'll just put them over here for now. I need all these switches for different purposes, but most of them is going to be controlling the main power sectors. They got put on bed rest today? Ouch. Alright. So, there's the main inlet right there. I hate how it's... I don't want to get it confused with anything. Oh, that's good, Airborne. Well, rest up, dude. Vitamins, water. Go. Alright, so I need power storage here. So let's... Another thing that they added was batteries. You have battery backups here. And I'm going to do power storage like on one side and then the breakers on the other side. So I have batteries over here, but it looks like I need to make frames to make more batteries. That's the battery backup for the current system. I just kind of hot wired it right in. All right. So anyway, for later, explains DC transmission. Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. I actually was just about to ask you. I love this stuff. Zex, this, like, I want to learn more about this. Like, I like the systems that are, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, the behind-the-scenes stuff of our civilization is the stuff that makes me happy. Like, that's so cool. Like, so, like, power plants, factories, stuff like that. I always had a soft spot for it. Like, road infrastructure, just infrastructure in general, like trains, roads, planes, stuff like that. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I spoon feed myself that. I'm just, let me eat your factory. I'll eat your power lines, man. What about tubes at the bank? Those are cool. That's a pneumatic system. Yeah, in the end, we never ditched steam power. Hey, old tricks are the best tricks, eh? Kind of like Transport Fever, yeah. Yeah, booyah. Mm-hmm. That's another game that I really should not touch because you'll never see me again. Okay. So, let's see. Can we build some battery backups over here? Oh, I need stators. I gotta go into the factory real quick. Bro, SpaceX is gonna be mad. People are setting antennas and cracking starships encrypted till it's not encrypted, Forge. It's not encrypted from what I understand. It's just, they're just cracking it. Or not cracking it, they're just tuning into the signal like you tune rabbit ears, dude. At least that's from what I can understand, that's what's going on. So how much coal is in the veins? The supplies are basically infinite. But yeah, and by basically I mean they are infinite. As crazy as it would be if they were finite, the map isn't procedurally generated. This map is done old school, meaning that it's the map is made old school, meaning that it is like modeled and rendered like that's a really old school way of doing things, but that's cool. I like it. Yeah, it's made by hand. So, if there were finite resources, that would really suck, actually. Frame window. I'm gonna go Vostochny style and have a lot of natural light. I like a lot of natural light, you know, in my architecture. Yeah, see? Got a lot of natural light in there. Just get in there and just play. Just play. Yeah, Hellfish, it is pretty cool, isn't it? I have a feeling that we're going to need more of these eventually. Oh, so some people are breaking the law. Yeah, see, Forge, I knew there was a reason why we shouldn't have shown that footage, man. Yeah. 2211 megahertz baseband isn't set public, though. It requires permission from the FCC so you can tune to it. Yeah, see what I mean? That's why people are like, oh, just show the LOX cam. Nothing will be wrong. I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's right. The ones that are doing it are in Europe. But yeah, I ain't messing with that, man. Man, they're gonna, yeah. Freaking. There we go. 3 battery backups. That's good. G14 classified, huh? That's good. I'll make a stairwell here. Perfect. Come on, it's only the FCC. Yeah. Yeah. Only the FCC. Yeah, that's right. You know, because the government never got pissed off when you do stuff like this, ever. Right? Nothing bad has ever happened to people that do stuff like this. So once again, we're probably going to need another bigger powerhouse soon. Information wants to be free. Actually, I won't go that far just yet with the stairwell. Some people moved to Boca and now they're intercepting SN11 telemetry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not... Dude, people... See, this is what people are gonna get... Yo, you're gonna piss some people off doing this. No, I'm not saying don't do it, but people are gonna get mad. And by people, I mean the government. They gonna get mad. Five more minutes of this, I'm gonna get mad. It's not my fault this is happening. Chevy is still the best. Yeah, the best at being bailed out by the government. Got them. It's all tainted, Bandit. It's all tainted. Don't you get it? Blue. All right. Hellfish, there's a reason why I said, like, I don't think it's a good idea to show this stuff on stream because, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. So are these nuclear reactors? No, these are battery banks. It's a UPS. Universal power supply. It's a battery backup that I'm putting into my new powerhouse here. So the powerhouse is basically going to have all the breakers for the factory right now. And I'm pretty sure that this is not a substantial backup for this. Here, electrical engineers, let's take a look. These things can store 100 megawatts. Ooh, that's not a lot. Ooh, that's very much not a lot. For reference, let's look at our power draw right now on the factory when everything is The factory isn't working right now because the production lines are saturated. Yeah, that's not a... Yeah, no. We need... Is that megawatt hours? Not... Did I look at it wrong? Oh, boy. 4 minutes per battery. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a lot. We might need a bigger battery storage bank. And by bigger, I mean like 20 of these. Yeah, we need to... It's gotta be bigger. It's gotta be bigger. Build a power tower? Can you stack these things, Geeson? I don't think you can stack them. Yeah, this project is gonna get a lot... Oh, man. I don't really have much space to expand here because of the rocks and stuff. I like building with the terrain, guys, just for what it's worth. I try not to just cover it all up. How far can we realistically go out here before it starts clipping in? Yeah, alright. Can you place floors above them? Let's check. Where's the smallest floor, which is the 8x1? Nope. It would have to be up another level. Maybe the backup should only be enough to run essential systems until you get the mains back online. Pale, we could do that. I have a little bit of room for expansion. We can go another 16 meters out this way before it really becomes a problem. This factory's power draw is going to be insane. With the, I mean, this is just, that's just the beginning. This factory's going to go up there. It's going to have to. We don't really have a choice. Yes, Jackery. Mm-hmm. So... this will afford us a little more space here. I know there's the mass delete tool. I keep forgetting it exists. Time is at 2:30. All right, we got plenty of time. Good. gotta make another stator. I mean, the battery backup doesn't have to, like, it's not gonna be able to run the entire factory. We'd need a battery. We need a building that's as big as the freaking factory to do that. So. I face when I'm trying to make enough power for the factories in Kiev. Wait, what? Was that a Chernobyl joke? Ugh. Solar. It's backwards. Unacceptable. Alright, so let's put this right here. And I might need to adjust the spacing on these because I expanded it. Let's make sure we're nice and centered here. A clean job is a happy job. Alright. There we go. Center will be 1 to 1, 2 on each side. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now in the center here, I still will put the stairwell here. I always like putting... I know we have like tubes, the tubes and stuff, but I always like putting the stairwells in. I think it looks better. Asked if you know. I don't. Will the batteries draw constantly adding to the load? They go at 100%. No, it'll charge them up to 100%, and they don't draw when they're fully charged. I'm pretty sure that's how they did it. fences backwards. Yeah, the batteries will only draw if you overdraw. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we have our battery system in place here. There we go. How did I do it over here? There we go, okay. Yes, Viscous, I'll probably do that. Can you overclock the batteries for more storage? I don't... No, you can't. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think so. Alright, so, right here, give me one of my switch panels. And this will be the master power switch right here. There it is. So this will be our main disconnect. Right here. That's the main master disconnect. Why would you ever need to turn it off? I don't know. I mean, normally systems have a main disconnect, so if you need to shut the system off and do maintenance, you can turn it off. I want a main disconnect because, I don't know. I really am not smart enough with electrical engineering to know why you'd need a main disconnect, especially in this game because you don't need to worry about electrocuting yourself when you're working on a live wire. That's absolutely a thing in real life, but I'm still going to do it just because. Better to have it and not need it. Need it, not have it. It takes 2 seconds. Disconnect. There you go. Disconnect! Whoa! What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Disconnect! Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Put one of these down here, and then give me these windows. Those are cool interior windows, right? Dude, I love how fancy you can get in this. So fancy. What's up, Snake? Hey, how you doing? You know what? I like that better than the centered door. It's too symmetrical. Well, not entirely, but you understand what I'm saying. There we go. Alright, so that's the main disconnect. And now over here, we're going to have breakers. Huh. How would we do this? Or I could always put the breakers up here. And then we could just put more batteries in here. But if we put more batteries in, I mean... Did Soyuz launch? I'm pretty sure it did, and I tried to get up for it, Velo, and I fell asleep. Yeah, had bad accident. No, I tried to wake up for it, I didn't get to it. Hey, Putspurt, what's up, man?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Addiction Simulator 5000. I've been afraid to open this game and check out update 4. 40, yeah, don't. Yes. Yeah, if you have something important to do, yeah, don't do that. That's a bad idea. You know what? I was going to put all switches on this side, but I think I'll put the switches on the center catwalk right here. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, that's not a good idea because I'm going to have a massive amount of output. I'm going to need there's got to be 30 different wires coming out of this thing for each circuit. So yeah, that's not a good idea. We're going to need... So let's figure out what we need here. Ready? Yeah, let me just do this, right? Okay. Just put each connection above on the ceiling. Yeah. Yeah, I could have them go out. So, alright, how are we going to set this up? Let's think about this for a moment. Alright, I just got to diagram this out. So, we have our master disconnect, and then we need area disconnects here. So, what area disconnects are we going to have? Let's start off with light duty stuff. So, lights. That's it. So lights here. So light duty, lights, that's it. What else would be light duty? We'd have the MAM and the hub area. So like my house. Or we could just separate it into light duty stuff. Do we want to get, how detailed do we want to get? Because honestly, there's going to be local power disconnects, right? For certain areas, right? So I think we'll just have light duty, right? Light duty lights is really the only thing. Well, no, we should, I don't know. Shouldn't the master disconnect be on the other side where the power comes into the room? Well, it's after the battery backup. The power generators will always power the batteries. I don't want my master disconnect in front of the batteries. I want main power, power storage, and then main disconnect, and then area disconnects. And then the area disconnects will go to the different areas, and on the other end of the loops, on the other end of the area loops, so like I'll have the lights, right? The lights will just go to every single light here that I place. Dude, you know, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't... I don't think putting the lights on an entire... Like, every single light on the entire map that we're going to place all on one circuit. I think we should just have light duty and heavy duty stuff. But if that's the case... Interesting. Lights should be on regional circuits. I agree. Like different sections of the grid. So I'm just gonna rename that stuff to light duty, right? And then the heavy duty stuff will he said keep saying duty. I'll just leave some room there for any other light duty stuff that I might think of. So I'll leave it open, kind of future-proof the system. Hang on. I can't think of any more things like, okay, 1, 2, 3. I really can't think of any more systems that we're gonna need for light duty stuff. I'll just put LD. Main base should be fine. And then we'll just put light duty miscellaneous. Alright, now we'll get into the big duties. Also, have a factory substation to switch each floor off in the lighting, sir. I agree, Pale. Yeah. We'll go to local disconnects. There'll be a main input to the factory, right? Main input to the factory with for light duty and heavy duty, right? I'll have a breaker box inside of the factory, and then that'll go to each floor. So that the substation inside of the factory will shut off master power, right? And then on each floor, I can shut off each production line if I need to. Yeah, oh no, I don't hate it. Not the worst. All right, so let's go heavy duty, factory, main. Water pimps. Oh, water pumps. Oh yeah, Trojan, I'm gonna buy like 3 of them. I'm not gonna buy 3 of them. I'm gonna buy 1, but it's still cool. Check out first how many sections you have in the factory, like water pumps, foundry, assembly lines. Yeah, maybe we should go backwards to the powerhouse. Would be quite a sight, but Titan is tidally locked, so rising and setting would be seen in orbit rather than from the surface. Scott, you're killing my imagery with physics. Water pimps have the best seahorses. Yep. Yeah, actually, working backwards might be the right way to do this. I actually think that's a good idea. Right, Hellfish? Wait, what? Is that the same tweet? Hold on. The other problem with the shuttle's heat shield being damaged due to side mounting stack could have been solved if they flipped the shuttle around. Yeah, but that looks stupid. Dude, I firmly believe, like, with defense contracting, like with the military and stuff, they won't... If something looks stupid, they won't allow it. Look at Boeing's bid to the Joint Strike Fighter, and, yeah, and you'll be like, yeah, okay. Alright. Substations for the factory. I mean, Hellfish, it's a superior plane in pretty much every way, but they still went with the JSF. They still went with the F-35, which is funny to me. And I can honestly say that there's probably a good reason why they did that. Is there anything in here? Nope. Okay, get rid of it. Alright, so... Factory main power inlet doesn't need to be anywhere. I can make this the power lines. We can make the... Well, no. How do I have it set up now? Hold on. Oh, okay. This is my inlet stack right here. Perfect. That leaves me plenty of room. See, I already tried hooking this up. Like that right there. See that connector? That's a main disconnect. So this won't take much to put our switches in. Alright, so I'm gonna... Yeah, okay. Alright, I see what I did. That's smart. Good job, Past DJ. I think I did that for every floor, right? So the power goes through here. Main power inlet is right there. That's the main connect to the factory, right there. I like that. That's fine. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to do stuff like this. So, I'm just going to diagram out this real quick for chat to see. So, put down a pillar, right? And then put down a gate wall, like this. And I'm going to make my power lines, instead of just a bunch of power poles, if we're doing like kind of long distance power stuff, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, see that looks pretty good. I like that. Always come in threes, Jesus. Stop dying, you cowards. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, we'll make the power lines look like that. That should be enough to carry. And what we could do is put light duty on the lower part and heavy duty on the higher parts of the lines. Is there anything that I can make to make this look a little bit nicer? No, the pillars are too big. Okay. We tried painting the different things, Booyaman. It doesn't paint the right part. If that makes any sense. Like it doesn't look right. All right, let's go. That looks fine. That'll look really good. Instead of just twin power poles. See, like those are painted different colors, dude. You can kind of see it up there, but it's just something about Satisfactory's lighting that it's like really hard to distinguish it. See last, please. Okay. Yeah, F-35 and stuff. I mean, guys, it was more of a joke. You didn't need to really take it literally, but that's fine. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Power pieces. So let's go in here. Mark II outlets right there. No, it's all good, Hellfish. Don't worry about it. I just want to... I'm short on time. I only have an hour. And I want to get some... I want to make some progress on this, dude. This controls all lights connected to the power grid. Hey, Crazy, what's up? Yeah, only about 1,000 times, Papa Bear. I'm ready, dude. I want it. I want it bad, man. That thing is gonna be awesome. Controls all lights connected to power grid to light power connector. That could be useful. So you have to sink enough resources into the resource sink. That's literally what it's called. And you get it after certain amounts. It gives you these tickets, and you can use it to unlock stuff. That sucks. You lost your save. Ouch. Huh. Yeah, I don't need that. We need all the lights. Yeah, I'm gonna save for the lights before I get the light control panel because I can already make that. What about over here? There's the zip line, smart splitter. I guess I'm gonna need that later. But Mark III power poles. Ooh. We could use that for long range stuff. That's not a bad idea. I have plenty of steel pipes. What's the other thing that it was looking for? High-speed connectors. $56 quick wire a pop, dude. Cable and quick wire. You know what? I don't necessarily need the Mark III power poles right now, so I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's a good way to set this up. I think we can make a good power, good like electrical line.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
From that. The other way that I could think, the other way that I'm thinking that we could set this up is like this. Who's that subbing? Solar! 2213 sub. Nope. Yep. I like the other way. Yeah, that way's fine. Then you can get rid of this and we can make them go right into the ground by it. Nope, it didn't want to do it. Could always do that as a base plate. Yeah, that'll look fine. Alright. So, our master power input here to the factory. Yeah, it's right in the stairwell. I don't think we should put it in the stairwell. Honestly. It goes through the stairwell like that. Hey, Cosmo Quest, thank you for the raid. Cosmo raid. What was Cosmo Quest up to? Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here. You're playing Minecraft? Really? What are you up to there? Working on building a solar flare? Wait. How did... Really? How does that... magnets. How does that work? Wait, building a solar flare. Yep, nope, I'm confused. Oh, it's a space build server. Oh, okay. Yep, my brain went potato for a second. I'm like, how did you... What? That's cool. Guys, if you like STEM streaming, science, technology, engineering, and math streamers on Twitch, CosmoQuest is probably worth your consideration as a follow. It's ridiculously large. That's awesome! You have a scale model of the solar system. That's really cool. Yep. I like that. That's really cool. Okay. I'm working on my factory over here. Kind of showing off some industrial engineering. They added a lot of new wiring stuff to the game, so you can... Like, they added switches and stuff, so I'm making a power grid for my factory. Off to the day job. Have fun with the factory. Thank you, CosmoQuest. Thank you for the raid. You're amazing. Excuse me, when lights? Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have, into the factory, we need light duty and heavy duty power. So I'll just put 2 right there, and then out here, I'll put a 1 power pole, and then we'll put a 2 power pole right there. And then, what I'll do is on the other side, on the opposite side of this, I will put a powerhouse. Or, well, like a little substation.
Discovery, go
Actually,
and
maybe
throttle
I
up.
should put the substation on the outside. This is the overworld of the CosmoQuest server. Hey, you gifted a subs question to CosmoQuest. Hey, that's the VAB. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, you know what? We'll put the powerhouse, or the substation. I'll attach it to the sides here. So we'll build it in the same way that we built the powerhouse. Okay, so now I'm going to need a switch. I need to go grab another one. Not the right NASA logo, though. Couple of these if you don't mind. So yeah, we're gonna have to work backwards here. That's a good start on the powerhouse, right? We're gonna have to, yeah, we'll work it backwards a little bit here. So right here, Factory main, heavy duty. Well, we'll just call it high voltage, I guess. Because, yeah, this is... It would be better to call it high voltage. And then over here, this one will be factory low voltage. So that's the light duty one. Just remember that. So now we need a power pole. I'm gonna put a Mark 1 power pole, and then for the heavy duty stuff, I have the high voltage with marked by a Mark 2, and the low voltage is Mark 1. So now we need the wall indicators here. So that one, that one. And now I'm gonna close this off, right? Like that. And then we go down in here. Hey Dragonheart, what's up? Sweet. Cool. Alright, and now you kind of need to make this run on the ceiling. So how about I do... What happens if I... Could we get away with running a gate in here? I don't think so. Ooh, that's right. They added the lower ceilings before this. I forgot about that. What if I run like a gate wall? Just get rid of that for a moment. And we use the gate wall as kind of a way to carry the wires through the ceiling. So check this out. We could, yeah. That's cool. How's changing over to the new update? I like it, Rezel. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun, man. I like the electric stuff. This is the stuff that I wanted to do in Satisfactory, but I couldn't because we didn't have any switches. But they added switches, and now I'm kind of like, oh man, I got a new way to do this. Was it pretty easy to change? It's gonna take a while for how I want it set up, but yeah. I need plates. Should have plates down at the end over here. Is there pressure stuff? What do you mean, Wiss? Pressure stuff? I'm gonna need to make this turn here. So I have to redo some of this a little bit. I won't get them crossed. Jerk. Hate it when my Schwartz gets twisted. I gotta get rid of the quick wire machine just for a second. So I'm running the new harness for the factory. I'm running it into the center because that's basically where I have my main power in on the old one. That's main power in. And I basically, because I shifted the powerhouse to the side here, I'm just changing it up just a little bit. That might work better with... You can mount these things to the ceiling? Oh. Yeah, but this looks cooler. It looks like a wire tray. I like this better. It's more easy to configure. Can you just... yeah. I wanted to make it look like the wires are being held there, but... I suppose this way works. It's not the worst way to do this. I didn't know that. Dude, I haven't played this game in a year, so... I mean, yeah, that's actually easier. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. I like that. That is pretty cool. I'm worried it might be a little bit harder to track this, but... Oh man, they really added a lot of QOL stuff here. Quality of life. No, it doesn't stick out the top of the other floor with the carriers. It's fine. Okay. All right, so which side is heavy duty? Okay, so that's the high voltage one. That's the low voltage one. All right, so now where's the power? Where am I tapping off the power for this place? There's the power pole right there. That's the power for this floor, right? I gotta replace my quick wire machine. Well, not really. I got enough quick wire. All right, so this right here is gonna need to be a local. It needs to be a local box, so. Yeah, that's right, Cirrus. I should probably see if before I go any further, get the Mark IIs out. That's a good idea. Because I want all my high voltage stuff. So like the factory equipment on Mark II, and then lights on Mark 1. I think that's how I want to have it set up. It's easier to distinguish it. We tried painting them, and it doesn't really... It's hard to tell the difference. Like, I need to be able to check it out. Okay, you need 5 tickets for that. That's great. I'm sinking quartz right now. I have another sink in a quartz vein is feeding directly into it. Oh, you need a Corbin Dallas multipass, yeah. See, I already have this going up per floor. That's the power harness for each floor, which is good. But we need one for this floor. So... yeah, I think in this tower right here, I'll put the power boxes because I was gonna just put a staircase here, but it's better if we do this way. So let me take this, take the gate walls on either side, right? Yeah, spread it out. The reason why I'm putting the power lines like every one squares is because I don't want them to be sagging. So now, there's one thing. This is going to be the local stuff for this floor. So that means these need to split. Right? So there needs to be one there and one there. And then these guys, like I said, they need to split here and here. Right? That makes sense. There we go. And then up each floor, we're going to need to do that. That, and then I don't think it'll let me reach up all the way up there. Oh, it did. I don't think I got all those right. Yeah, I don't want them to sag. The lines don't sag very much, but I think this looks nice. It's a little bit easier to follow. And it doesn't cost... I mean, Shaw, what extra does it cost doing it this way? Right? Like... high voltage. So this guy is first caps lock. Why did I'm an idiot. First floor, low voltage. right here. So that goes into that. You know what? For the mains, it doesn't make any sense having them go down and back up, so... Seriously, just take these so it doesn't get confusing and put them there and there.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Sweet. That... No. Bad kitty. There we go. How was your weekend? It was alright. Lake Man, what's up, dude? 51-3 sub. Low voltage is on the right. High voltage is on the left. And then we'll have the power, instead of power poles on the factory floor, I think running them in the ceiling is a good idea. I like that you can do that now. Does that pop out the right side? Yep. What about over here? Good. However, do we want... The logical thing to do would be to have them tap out the other side over here, instead of like that. Removing the poles cleans up the factory floor. Yeah. See, I would run them here, but... Like, I don't... If I have high voltage on this side, right, I don't want to have like the high voltage run all the way around. It would be better to just have them pop out the nodes here. But then again, if we did that and they popped out here, there's going to be a bunch of conveyor lifts here. How the heck am I going to move them left and right? Yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense either. Give me a second. We could just have them pop right back out here. I have another way that we could do it, and this might not be a good idea, but that might get a little confusing. Have high voltage pop out on either side. We can have two outlets. It's not a big deal. But I think Cirrus is right. I need to make an internal distinction here between low and high voltage. I need the Mark II nodes, or else this is gonna get real confusing really fast. Don't worry, it won't arc at all. Yeah, right. Plus side is that we can do that. Yeah, we can have outlets on either side. That's no problem. You know what? I have something that's simpler. I got a simpler idea. There's an easier way to do this, alright? So, we have our outputs right there. So, okay, here's how we set this up. On the first set here, first set of switches is master. Master low and high for the floor, okay? So this shuts off the entire floor. And then, because the factory is really divided into cells, alright? The factory has two sides. Every floor has two sides. It has a left and a right. Okay? So, over here, we'll have left bay, high and low voltage, and then right bay, high and low voltage. So, master low, master high, left bay low, left bay high. Ooh, no, that's even more confusing. Let's just keep it simple. Per floor. Ooh, man, this is a web, dude. Left, right tied directly to master on both ends. So maybe it would be better if we did our master switches like this. And then switch this from a gate wall to a door. I find that I need to shut off sometimes. Ivo, the reason I thought of this is because sometimes I need to shut off the left or right bay. So I'm going to have floor power, main floor power, and then left and right. It is a little bit on the confusing side, but that's okay. This first floor low voltage. There we go. All right, see, but now this is where this is going to get ridiculous because this needs to connect to one here and then it needs to connect to one there, so it's going to cross the power and it's going to look ridiculous. Why whole floor control if you have left and right? Because what if I need to shut down the entire floor? This is getting, that's too complicated. We'll just have, per floor is better. Per floor is better. I mean, I have extra space in here, so if we need to do that, we can. So how we'll do this is this one needs to go there. That one needs to go there. There. Now we have taps for either side. And if I wanted to, right, we could put the switches in here now. Lights are low voltage, all the machines are high voltage. I want to separate it, dude. Because the reason why I'm even bothering doing this is because of how the power plants work. We've always had scenarios in Satisfactory in the past where like the whole system shuts off and you have to go and like, I don't want to just sit there and just cut wires all day. You know, it's a pain in the butt. Hang on. Yeah, that's the right. If I move this to the left and we could put switches attached to those nodes right there. No. It's just better doing it this way. Let me just get this wall out for a second. So that's low voltage, which means that one's high voltage. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to connect it into the power pole here. For now. And then that one right there will be for the light control. But yeah, we got to start fencing resources. I call it fencing, it's the sink. I call it the fence because it's funny. Alright, so we don't have any lights yet. I don't have the factory lights, the interior lighting, so we could hook up high voltage right now. On each floor, and that's what I think we should do. I'm gonna make sure my master power switch is... I didn't mean to do that. Power switch is off. Power switch is off. Good. There we go. But yeah, we need to really... What did I scan for? Quartz? Yeah, I knew those quartz deposits were there. I have a quartz stack just going right into the sink dragon passively, so yeah, I mean that would work too. Alright, so let's go out here. That's not the exit, that's the powerhouse. We'll disconnect that for now. So the whole factory is unplugged right now. I don't want a window here. There shouldn't be a window there. It's a powerhouse. Alright, and then that's the tap off for the factory. Now we got to worry about where our main harness is going to go. Like our main power lines. I need power poles, right? Got to figure out how and where we're going to build those. So right now the main factory is unplugged. But this should be showing power. If actually flipping that is not going to do anything because the master power is off. So we're hooked up on this floor for the most part. Alright, so let's get this floor operational. So, I already hooked up the high voltage power. So if I flip this, we should get draw. There it is. Okay. Now if we go out here, now let's put the meter on here. Good. All right, first floor is hooked up. Now we're gonna go up to the second floor. And we go into the power block right here. And I'm going to switch these to here and here, and then we're going to need more switches. Get rid of that. That's the old center power line. That doesn't work anymore. That's high voltage, okay. So this one would be second floor high voltage. Second floor low voltage. Now up at the ceiling height, like that, we're going to put 2 and 2. Make the outlets on every floor look the same, even though these are shifted a little bit because I don't have a doorway right there, right? So where's the low voltage connecting in down here? So low voltage is on the left, high voltage is on the right. Yeah, I'm really gonna need the Mark II nodes here. I have no idea, Ivo. It's definitely up there, though. And then for now, see those power nodes right there. That's for high voltage for each wing. So all I need to do is man, yeah, this is gonna get complicated real fast. Well, the good news is that, yeah, that's how I made the high voltage right there. So we can go here, to here. I put the high voltage on the same side. Oh, I need cable. Should we stop now if we don't have Mark II outlets? Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, we should, Shaw. I should... Yeah, primary goal should be... Hey, Rocket Guy. Honestly, yeah, before this gets any more confusing, it's really hard to keep track of with all the same connectors. We don't want that. So, for right now, what I'll do is... I'll just hook these in. Get rid of the power node right there. And we should... If I turn the high voltage thing on... We should be getting power up here. Yep. Alright. And then for the rest of the floors... Right, I'll just connect the lines. Or, we don't need to connect low voltage, but it doesn't really matter. There. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna need to change this. Yeah, eventually. And we also need to unlock the lights. Oop, pressed the wrong button. So we got a lot of resource fencing to do. Mark 1 and Mark 2 power poles, Sebi, allow you to hook up more things. That's all. Do we have another ticket? Almost. How many tickets are we realistically gonna need here? Not realistically, how many tickets are we gonna need in general? I need the interior lighting, so that's 3 tickets right off the bat. I have 3 tickets right now? Oh, I have 3 tickets right now. And then we're going to need the Mark II wall outlet, so we need 8 tickets. Ugh. Popular in your sector. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, if we do this right now, I can work on the lighting. And we could do all the lighting circuits if we really want to. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's do that. Beep, bop, boop, boop. Whoa. Dude, that thing is ridiculous. It's freaking huge. All right. All right, now we need, the goal is 5 tickets. We need 5 tickets, so I'm just gonna start throwing stuff in here. I'll throw that in there. We'll throw some gunpowder in there. Stuff I don't need. Don't throw the power shards in there. I could throw AI limiters in there. I need that. I needed those for making computers. Let's throw those in there. How do those do? Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, the AI limiters, it doesn't matter. We can throw those in there. I'll throw the circuit boards in there. I can make a lot of those. No problem. Got plenty of bars. Bars aren't worth that much though. Quick wire is though. And steel is, and I have plenty of that. Throw the high-speed connectors in there. That's left over for me manufacturing all those computers. We could throw the stators in there too. It's alright. Do you have the light controller to dim them? You can dim them, Merkers? Well, I guess we need that too. The light controller... I thought the light controller just adds... I don't really need a dimmer function per se, but with the system that we have, we should be able to implement it relatively easily. Oh, we got a coupon pretty quick. Oh, gotta get that dimmer switch. Just give me these. I can make more. What you just had on screen was it. Yeah, I know. Does it control a group of lights? So can I cumulatively... The light controllers would be good for street lights. That's crazy, though. Hold on. Can we, like, mess with this at all? I mean, I suppose I could have a light controller hooked into the low voltage thing for each part of the factory. That's not a big deal. Need the controller to mess with the overhead ones. Alright, so how many tickets is that? 2. And then, so we need 7 tickets. Okay. No problem, Merkers. It's alright. So we need 7. Yeah, okay. Buck, I see what you're saying. And then Shaw as well. There's so much to do. I have so much to do to fix this. But it should be fun fixing all of it. So what can I work on in the meantime? In the meantime, we can work on the power harness. The main power harness. So like the light towers. Like that's what we can work on. Is it getting fed by a Mark IV belt? I think so. Rezel? I don't know. I'm all the way over here already. In the chat delay, man. Hey, chat delay, man. Remo, you pasted the wrong thing, but noted. It's no problem. All right. All All fixed. All fix. I fix. You have become fixed, Mo. Alright, so how are we gonna do this power harness here? I was like, oh, I gotta do the band, Rezel. I don't know, it's gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. No. Oh dear. That's funny as hell. Okay, so right here is where I have some nice open space to hook up the power supply. This is the link you want. Is this the correct line of sight? Can we go over one more? Yeah, we can. Okay, so I set this up. I forget how I set it up exactly. How did I do the pipelines? Oh, okay, I see what I did. All right, never mind. I got it. So I should be able to... Should be able to do this. Let's see if we can still make this work. You got your ender to play Scatman. Let's see. I hear it. Ha ha! I hear it. Can you not build under this thing anymore? How did I do this? There was a trick where I could make this go under. There we go. That's it. See, now it just looks like the posts are going into the ground. So this is going to be my high voltage connectors here. Or not my high voltage, they're just basically going to be power lines. It's going to be low and high, to be honest with you. But actually, does it need to be low and high? It really doesn't. It doesn't need to be like that. I can split it. we'll split it at the substation, right? Could we do that? Is that doable? Is that how real power stations work with step up? I think that's how they work with step up and step downs, right? Yeah? Alright. Yeah, we could just run high voltage everywhere and then just compartmentalize it to factory and then split it right there and have low voltage to high. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And then the only things that will have like low voltage all the time are like roads because it's only lights. Yeah. Yeah. So like if this was an outdoor area and I wanted to put the big industrial lighting in here, right? Yeah, I'll have that set to permanent low. That's fine. Power plants keep high and then step it down as they see fit. Got it. Always as high as possible and step down depending on the needs of the destination. Yeah. See, yeah, this is why, chat, this is why it was better to work our way backwards from each source, because I would have just had low voltage all over the place. You would have been able to control the lights in the factory from over there by hitting a regular light. Yeah, see, this way is much better. And it's going to cost less resources and have less lines, just like real life. See what I mean? This is why I like doing this stuff. You learn a lot. What's the spacing that I put on these lines? 8, 16, 32. Okay, 40 meters apart. Got it. So 5 blocks. Of course I did that. There. Fact, pretty much all work cadets in the nuclear industry, which is under 30 during the industry's history, are electrical related. I'd believe that. I mean, yeah, if you arc one of those, a power line, and you ground out, that's it. You lose. Like, that's, yeah, that is death. Pretty much. You lose. Is the game good now? Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I like the electrical stuff that they put into the game. It's actually pretty rad. Simple as WAV. Hey, Joda, what's up? Alright, so let's just connect these and see what it does. Or see how it looks. And then this will go over here, past the powerhouse. Yeah, it's gonna look sick. Oh, that's horrible. Jack. Yeah, I didn't need to hear that. That's gross. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that that's going to look pretty awesome. Power lines, man. And I'm not gonna, I don't think I need all of these wires connected up, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna run them, kind of future-proof the system a little bit. I know we're gonna need more eventually. So I think having seven circuits going out of the factory should be good. Once again, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be used, what each one of these is gonna be used for, but yeah, I like this. This is cool. It's really cool, actually. You could consider trying out X4 foundations in the future. You'll like it. Oh, okay. Last major power outage in my city was a squirrel that got into a high power transformer station, 400 kilovolts at 3-phase. They found its shadow on the concrete. Yeah, that's a lot of energy being released all at once. Whew. And by a lot, I mean a lot, a lot. Now is the time where building prefabs would be super useful. That's a little low to the ground, especially up here. So, yeah, it's a little low to the ground. Much better. These pylons look so good, something tells me you might need additional pylons. Yeah, well, you want a piece of me, boy. Checked up, good to go. Rock and roll. Need a light. Yes, I want to turn up the heat. Slam it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like this. Got any questions about propane or propane accessories? I tell you what, you're dang right I do, boy. Ow. Alright, guys, it's 4 o'clock. Is it time for the space news? Is there like a note that I can leave myself here? Like of what I need to do? We need tickets. Oh. Well. Steel seems to get you tickets pretty dang fast. What else are we looking for? That's the big one. We need the Mark IIs. Hey, Evil Rays. In your neck of the woods. Yep. I'm upgrading the power systems on my old factory. And that includes building power lines. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Building power lines. Hey, Alpha, what's going on? And I'm going to build a new powerhouse that has master grid disconnects and stuff. And then I worked on building a input box right there in the factory. And that's the master disconnect for the factory right there. And then I'll have a master disconnect for the smelter array here as well. In fact, my master disconnect for the smelter array could go right here. It's actually not a bad idea. Sorry I haven't been around in a couple of days. How's the weather? Well, neither have I. I took yesterday off, dude. Weather's fine. It was great. Primo and I went... We did this thing. This thing that we did. It's called walking. Yeah, I know. Strange concept. You missed the Fallout Factory? Yeah. Walking? Ew, yeah. So I started building the Powerhouse over here. Extreme walking, yes. That's why both of our backs are hurt. And did you use the circuit breakers? Alex, I'm working on it. I started building the Powerhouse, and then I was like, oh, you know what? It'd probably be better to figure out what I need to connect the Powerhouse to first, and then go from there. Yeah, moving your legs for an hour. PY, that's the most un-American thing I've ever heard. All right? That's un-American, all right? We don't move our legs. What are we, peasants? It's ridiculous. Come on. It's ridiculous. The only good walk is a spacewalk. Nice.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Good. Don't worry. Be happy. Yeah, the new power line system is going to be way cooler. It's going to be way awesomer and way more efficienter and way more grammatical. Alright, guys, I've almost got all the tickets to get the Mark II things, so yeah, I'm just gonna do that. As an in real life high voltage electrician, I approve of the new power setup you can build in Satisfactory. Oh, agreed, man. Yeah. So like, Andy, yeah, if you just popped in, like, check this out. So I have high voltage disconnect, low voltage disconnect, and what I'm trying to save up for with tickets is being able to build a Mark II. I'm using Mark IIs for all the high voltage stuff, so you can tell the difference. Yeah, don't think I need to tell you why that's important. And then in here, and this goes all the way up to the top of the factory. That's the power area. Like, this is on a floor-by-floor basis, right? So I have first floor low, first floor high, right? And then the high goes out, and I haven't fixed this yet. This is parts of it that still needs to be redone. But yeah, it's all gonna be. I'm trying to get it up to quote unquote code as much as I can.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Why demo? What? 6 years of subscriptions worth it. Thank you? That was, the decimal was in the wrong spot. That tells something about you. And Jesus, man. Yep, there's one shuttle. Demos, yeah, that's pretty much going all to the Lego Space Shuttle. The NEC would approve. Yeah. Crazy, man. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. Man. That's nuts, dude. Thank you. Okay, I'm getting rid of my old spaghetti. Once again, I'm trying to basically just bide my time right now. This is the old Powerhouse. A lot of the old Powerhouse circuits aren't really hooked up, so we just get rid of it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Jackery gifted a sub to Andy. Thanks, Jackery. Andy, welcome to Mission Control. You go with throttle up. Yeah, we can get rid of some of it. This is a freaking mess, dude. Honestly, if somebody else tried to come in here and mess with my electrical systems, and like you could arc in this game, you'd get killed. It's so bad. The electrical system that I had before is so sloppy because we didn't have switches and stuff. We didn't have battery backups and battery banks and switches and whatnot. So you know what? A power supply disconnect might not be a bad thing. Disconnect! You need a PhD for my electrical wires? Just trying to make it right. You've seen some stuff. Awesome. Thank you, sir. So if I want to run the thing on battery power only, we can do that. So I have a plant disconnect, and then over here is the master disconnect. This will shut off all power to everything.
Discovery,
Hey,
go at
somebody
throttle.
gifted a sub to Claude Boy. Thank you, Anon. Very cool. This is cool, man. Oh, I could play this for like the next 20 hours straight, no problem. Working on all the electrical and stuff. But we'll let's get our once again. I'm waiting on the ticket so I can unlock the Mark II wall plugs. No, we have Kerbal. Dude, Kerbal. No, we have to. We have to play Kerbal. Guys, I gotta play KSP. We have the deadline. I can't sit here and do this all day. It's not a good idea. Yeah, I know, Nova. No, I wanted to wait until we got all the tickets that we needed to unlock Mark II. That's a good stopping point, but we do have space news, so. There's my note to myself. All right. So I'm gonna take 5.
Discovery.
And we'll be back for space news here. Blue 67137 sub. Thanks, man. And demos, thank you for that, dude. I really appreciate it. Man, a lot of money, man. All right, so we'll continue with Satisfactory early hours probably on Wednesday. I'll do that for now. Yeah. I want to finish the electrical. That would be really fun. So we'll do space news now. And then we will do KSP after that. Pixel, tomorrow I'm gonna go get the garage all straightened out, and then next week truck streams. Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing tomorrow. Just going over and kind of making a new list of all the stuff that I need to do. Basically, I mean, it's not that much, but I gotta redo the brakes. Oh my gosh, Thomas, Jesus. Okay. Okay. All right, I think I got all of them. Cool beans. Okay, I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to go make some tendies. See you on the other side.